Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make this fall card gathered together, and it is using the cork paper that I keep raving about. Finally doing a tutorial with it. And we're going to use the Pretty Pumpkins stamp set. We will be using the Gather Together and the 3 pumpkins. So let's get started. All right, our supplies for today, and I will go through them again, but those of you that screenshot, here everything is. They will also be on my blog. So we're going to use the crushed curry, an 8.5 by 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock that we scored on the 8.5 inch side in the middle at 4 1/4. So this is going to be our card base. And then we have a second piece of crushed curry. It is 1/4 inch by 4 1/4. We are going to use a piece of the Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. We're going to have 2 of those. The first one is going to go on the front. It is 2.5 inches by 5.5 inches. The second piece will go along inside on the bottom, and it measures 1/2 inch by 5.5 inches. Our piece of cork specialty paper is 2 inches by 5.5 inches. And our very vanilla cardstock, and this is just the regular cardstock, is 3 by 3. Actually, I lied, you guys. This is the thick, very vanilla, 3 by 3. So let's get started. First, we are going to put our little strip on the inside, and we're going to be using our multi-purpose liquid glue for that today. About out. I'm almost ready to start a new one. This one has really, I've gotten a lot of use out of this, and I finally figured out the secret to it. Having it primed and ready, I bought on Amazon. If I remember, I will hook up a link to it. It is a fingernail polish holder. So you put your fingernail polish bottle down in it, but it fits our multi-purpose glue perfect. So when I'm done, I put my lid on, put it here, and it is always primed and ready to go at the tip. It has been fantastic. So I will try to remember to put a link below. If there is not one, message me, let me know you need it. Because what happens and goes on in my brain between this video and getting it on there, 2 different things. So again, liquid multi-purpose glue. Remember, a little bit does ya. This cork paper is just so cool. Pick up, Heather. It's just so cool. I really, really, really like it. Now, when you're looking at your DSP paper, it is directional. Make sure that it's going the right way. I'm not sure if you can really tell that much, but maybe not. Okay, and then on the back of this, my little Z formation. Then this we're going to center on our card base, just like that, and get a little wiggle room. And I did go over the edge with my paper just a little bit, so let's just trim that little bit right off like this. Yeah. And then this little piece, this little guy, he is going to go left justified. So it means we're going to start the left side centered and go across. I'll hold him down for a few minutes, make sure he's all ready to go. Ignore my bruise. I had to have blood draws done yesterday. Not my thing at all. All right, so we're going to set this aside because now we're going to work on this piece. And we are going to use our Stamparatus. And so what I did was, you notice I already have my stamps here. I made this card for a swap, so I just went ahead and left it in. But what you do is you put your 3 by 3 piece of cardstock down. use your magnet, and then you arrange your stamps on it, and then you'll close the lid, do that, and up come your stamps. It is as easy as that. Get a little bit more room here. We're gonna use our crumb cake stamping pad. I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. I think I missed some. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, tap, tap, tap. 3 times this drum, right? I'm gonna close it. I'll stick my hand in it. I just rub my fingers along it like this, and bam! I'm gonna clean my stamps off. Do not move them. That's the key here. You don't move your paper, and you don't move your stamps. And you know what we're gonna do next? You can see all the crumb cake. The dry, almost. We are going to use our Versamark on it. Yep, dry. Tap, tap, tap. And 3 times charm. Okay, and we're gonna come back over, and this Versamark is gonna go right on top of the crumb cake. There we go. And I'm gonna clean that off. I try to clean it after every time I use. When I was doing my swaps, I had to, because then I had to do the next one, and I had to go back to this same thing. Here we go. Okay. So, very carefully pick this up, because this Versamark is sticky. It doesn't dry. It's a sticky ink. But that's how we're going to use our clear embossing powder. And you know what I do need? I need an extra sheet of paper. And here's why. Here's a piece of paper. Okay. I'm extremely heavy-handed with my, not gonna lie. Okay, so here's my clear embossing powder. And I just cover my image. Okay. Then I'm gonna pick it up by a corner. I'm gonna tap it down on this piece of paper. Now, I got on my fingers. You can see in the light usually, and I'm gonna turn it upside down and just kind of run my fingers like this, so any excess will come off. And that looks great. Now, here's the secret. And most of you who emboss already know this. You just make a little pinch, do a little dance, and all that excess is right back in the jar where it needs to be. And that means I can reuse that. And embossing powder lasts forever. As you can tell, my label's all nice and faded. Okay. Now, I'm going to try and do this. I was looking for my tweezers earlier, and I couldn't really find them. So let me try using this, because I want to get this up under the camera so you guys can see. Oh, there's some powder in that corner. Oh, good thing I picked it up like that. There we go. So I'm just going to hold this. And I turn my heat tool on, and I'm going to let it warm up for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to start going over my image. And you'll see it change colors as it melts. See how it's getting darker? And then what I do is I'll take it in the light and I'll change directions. I make sure it's everywhere there's ink, it should be melted and shiny now. And it is, so we are ready to go. Wow, my little clippy came in handy there. Got some extra powder on here. I wasn't real careful putting it back in the jar, I don't think. Okay, so now we're ready to use watercolor pencils. We're also going to use a blender pen, and this is super easy, you guys. So here's the watercolor pencils are in the annual catalog, and they come in 2 sets, assortment 1 and assortment 2. From assortment 1, I used Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, Early Espresso. From assortment 2, I used Cajun Craze and Crushed Curry. Okay, and the blender pens are also in the annual catalog. So I like to do everything. Let's start with the Early Espresso. These I just used on It's a darker. I use this on my stems. Now you're gonna really see it down here on this one, but these not so much. And then when I'm done with the colored pencil, I just set it aside. This one is the Cajun Craze. And we are going to use it on the two smaller pumpkins. And I'm going to just come across the top lightly like this. Come from the bottom lightly. And then I'm gonna just kind of come over here on the left a little bit more. This is gonna give us some shadowing. Same thing up here, kind of lightly. Across the top, and we're gonna come lightly across the bottom. And then to the left, shadowing it a little bit. Okay. Next up is the Old Olive. This is our leaves. Now we're gonna come from the middle and we're gonna push down kind of hard. We want this to be dark, because when we drag this out, we want this to still be dark in the middle. That's essentially what we're doing with the blender pen, is we're blending our colors out. We're dragging them out. Now this one is the Crushed Curry. So we're gonna do the same thing here at the top, down here at the bottom. We're gonna kind of come down here a little bit, underneath this leaf, and then down there. Now the pumpkin pie, which desperately needs to be sharpened, I think, we're just gonna kind of come under here. We're gonna shadow this on the left side and on the bottom and at the very top. And we're gonna add just a little bit to the others pumpkins as well. The other pumpkins, it's not gonna show up as much as it will this one. Okay, now our blender pen. To clean your blender pen, here's a tip. When your tip has color, you just do this, and I'll show you how we'll clean it. But you're just gonna take it on a separate sheet of paper. And my separate sheet of paper, it walked off. Well, we'll just use this little one. This is an extra piece of die cut, so we'll just use this. It's white, you'll show me. All right, so we're gonna start first with the stems. And there's a lot of the clear powder, so this isn't gonna show up as much here as it will on this one. See how that flowed out? Now see, you just squiggle, 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 and turn your pen like this as you're going until it is completely clear and you see nothing. Okay, let's do the leaves next. We're gonna come from the outside of the green. So we're gonna go like this and just kind of drag it down. We're gonna work it out. And I'm just going one direction. I'm not going back and forth. Then where it's dark, you're gonna take that out a little bit. So you want just a little bit left dark in the center. Okay, again, the darker the color, the more you have to blend it out. Okay, let's go with our orange, our dark orange pumpkins. I think that needs just a little bit more color. Let's do this. Now, once this is wet, these watercolor pencils, the color is going to be a lot darker. So just be aware. You have to add color back in. Okay, we're just wiping that off. There we go. And our last color. Just gonna kind of blend it all together. So you've got some dark areas and you've got some light. Then that's it. Clean it off so it is ready to go for our next use. Oh. Okay. And now we are ready to put this on, and this, we're going to use our glue as well. I'm only putting glue in the center parts where it's going to touch the cork and the other, because it's kind of popped up on a couple layers. So you're going to be able to see underneath the top, the bottom a little bit. So it's going to kind of give it a 3D effect, but not really. It's like a faux 3D. And there we have it, you guys. Gather together your fall card using Crushed Curry as your base color. I hope you all are having a great day, Until next time, stay crafty.